Welcome to Fit Live. Welcome to Fit Live. How are you doing today? I hope that I'm finding you in the best of spirits. I am sending you positive energy no matter where you are. I just want to say thank you for tuning in and watching me weekly. We are here today on Fit Live. We have an amazing guest lined up for you today, and I'm going to tell you all about her. But before I get started, as always, I need to do some mechanical kind of work just to make sure that we are officially on board and we are live, and my family and my Facebook family can see me. And yeah, y'all can see me because I can see me right here. That's another video idea. Hold on a minute. I'm sure we're live though. I'm sure, I'm confident of that. So I'm going to start all over because sometimes I need to refresh. So if you're out there, I see an eye, just let me know that you can hear us. Yeah, there we go. We can see. So just tell me you can hear us, you can see us, and that would just really help me a lot. I'm going to turn this down so that I'm not competing with myself here. I'm so excited. This has been a roller coaster week for me. First of all, I want to say, again, if you can hear me, just say, Cheryl, I hear you. That's all I need. I just want to make sure that you're connecting and that you can hear me, because if you can hear me, then you're in for a treat. Thank you, Tamitha Willis. Tam, thank you, Robin. Thank you. Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who has sent me a phone call, an email, a text message. I lost one of the oldest matriarchs in our family. Her name is Ine Mae Dennis. She was affectionately named after my great-grandmother. And, death is a very interesting thing. I was just sharing with Chamain that sometimes you're up and then the next few minutes you're not. And the thing that I most want to say, just in being in gratitude of having her in my life and having her as a role model, is thanking her for just being one of those women. When you talk about a strong Black woman, that was my cousin Ine. She stood her ground. She was self-sufficient. She was a leader. She was in charge. She spoke her mind, y'all, whether you wanted to hear it or not. But I thank her. I thank her for being a blessing in my life. It's unfortunate that family has to get together because of someone's death, but we are coming together again. We'll be laying her to rest next week. But in the meantime, I just want to thank you because it really means the world to me. And I want to thank you, Cousin Ine, for just being an amazing role model in my life. I love you. I appreciate you. So with that said, I'm going to keep on moving, y'all. I'm going to keep on moving. Again, I hope this just finds you in the best of spirit. I hope that things are just moving in the right direction in your life, and that you are manifesting the things of your heart's desire. I am very confident in the work that I'm doing. I'm very confident in my passion to transform lives. That's why we bring this platform to you. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because this platform, as most of you know, my name is Cheryl Grant, and welcome to Fit Live. This platform is where we highlight the real journeys and triumphs of individuals, professionals, and entrepreneurs from around the globe. Getting fit is more than a physical process. It's a roadmap for getting mentally in shape and developing the faith, intuition, and tenacity necessary to propel you towards your own success, not only in business, but in life. So I ask the question, are you ready to get fit? If so, you came to the right place. I am so excited about today's guest. You know, we are in a time and space where we are often heard that talent can't be found, or, I've heard it said that, well, we don't know where these amazing Black women are. Well, you can find them on Fit Live because I bring them to you weekly. Tammy, that's what I'm talking about. Tammy Reddy, she on a whole nother journey with me, y'all. We'll talk about that later because she's on my fitness journey. And I have now, I think, about 8 women and growing. I have about 20 of them that are going to be doing this fit challenge. And if you didn't know, I'm about to train for Miss Olympia 2022. So I need as many people to come along with me as possible. If you're interested, just DM me and I'll get you what you need. But going back to why we're here today, is here to talk to this amazing queen. Her name is Chamain Wooffard. Please, wherever you are, clap your
really good. I'm really happy to be here.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you to be here. Let me tell you, I love her so much. I really thought, y'all, that I had already interviewed her. I think today we have cataloged close to 200 to 300. I mean, it's a relatively high number. And I said, Chamain, I get to interview you again. She's like, this is your first time. So, Chamain, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you. So this is what we're going to do, Chamain. I would like to introduce you properly to our guests. And I want to say, wherever you are listening to us today, number one thing is grab a pen and a pen and a piece of paper, because this is meant for you to grab the nuggets that are going to be shared with you. Number two, tag a friend. Let's not share this information, just keep it within ourselves. Tag a friend to join in the conversation. This is going to be rich. It's going to be fulfilling. And I'm going to tell you all about this amazing, amazing diva. But before I do, y'all don't judge me. You know I got to put on my glasses because I need to see, and I can see with my glasses. So with that said, Chamain Wooffard is a graphic designer and a UC Berkeley certified full stack web developer. She is the founder of Wellington Studios, a strategic branding and web digital agency. Chamain manages an in-house talent team along with an on-call contractors. Wellington Studio works with organizations focused on creating social change by connecting with communities of color. Currently, Chamain is an immediate past third vice president of membership and chapter development for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. Yay, the 100 Black Women, Oakland Bay Area chapter. She is also an active member of the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce. And Chamain began her career as a graphic designer working with high value brands. Through her senior project manager position at Wells Fargo in strategic corporate marketing, she managed, executed, and implemented millions of cost savings in design and print production over 7 years. She completed her tenure at Wells by working on the rebranding of the Wells Fargo Bank and Wachovia brand across multiple cross-functional teams. She is a UC Berkeley certified full stack web developer, a certified digital business developer. Today, I present to you Chamain Wooffard.
Thank you.
I'm so excited, Chamain. I mean, first of all, for so many reasons, and we're going to dive into all of that. But you know, I always start the conversation off with asking something that's really relevant to what I stand for. Fit. People think of fit. Normally, when I say the word fit, the first thing that comes to people's mind is physical fitness. That is a part of being fit, but fit is also a mental process. And that's what my platform is all about, along with the physical. From my perspective, you can't get to the physical unless you're mentally ready. So I want to start off asking you something very, very important, Chamain. I need to know, what are you passionate about?
What am I passionate about?
Yeah, what are you passionate about?
100% community, African American community, specifically entrepreneurs in the African American community.
Oh, well, I love that. So you love working with African American, like working within the African American community. What drives your interest there? Why?
I think that, first and foremost, I'm from South Carolina. I came to Oakland to attend college, and, I never left because the moment I came into Oakland, it was home. And so that passion, and, you see the different communities in the South versus the communities of African Americans out here, and there's a disconnect. And, what drives me is the fact that I think that we should all come together because we can definitely accomplish more. And one of my clients, she said this at the luncheon, Cindy Hill of Grace Marketing. She said, we need to give each other grace because we give everybody else grace, but we don't give each other grace. And that really stuck with me. I'm repeating it now because it really encompassed, my passion and what I try to do in the community when we're helping entrepreneurs, when we're helping organizations, and, we're trying to uplift their messaging and brands.
I want to say with you, I couldn't agree with you more in terms of giving each other grace. And when I say each other, I'm talking about people of color and especially women. And I don't think it's like, I think that women do work together. I think to say everybody is too big of a blanket. I think there are a lot of women that work together. I know I'm definitely one of them, but I also have experienced that there is something in the system that we have been programmed, and I really am going to put it in that position. We've been programmed to think that there's only one of us, because typically in the corporate structure, only one of us is ever given the opportunity. So that also reinforces a mental state of mind within us that, oh my God, if that person got it, then that's the only person. Or if I get it, then I can't bring anybody else up, which is truly a crab in the bucket mentality. And I am a strong believer that the way that we are going to transcend in this new world order, and if you haven't noticed, this is a new world order, is in our ability to truly see that we're not a threat to each other, that we shine brighter together. When we come together in community, we can do anything. When we understand that we don't have to feel threatened or somehow less than because our sister shines. So right now, why this platform is created, because I want to see you shine. And Chamain, in order for that to really transcend, people need to understand who you are and what you do. So what is a full stack developer? What
It's so technical. Okay, so in a nutshell, I started my career as a graphic designer, put myself through school as a graphic designer. And I would be remiss in saying that my first client was Miss Kathy Adams back in the day. So
Kathy Adams. We love Kathy Adams.
Yeah. So, Kathy I worked at a little print shop, Peel Hill Printing, Stan Blewett. If you're out there, thank you. But he gave me a chance with my little Southern accent and my Southern ways. And so Kathy would come through the door, dressed to the nines all the time. And she was yeah, right. So, she would always be dressed. Yes. And I never saw that outside of like church in the South. And, the way that she talked, I was like, wow, she's speaking to these people like this and they're not shooting her. This is different, because she showed that power. And so she took me under her wing and she really showed me the ropes of Oakland and how to navigate the waters in our community. And so when you talk about women, Black women power, at that time, she really encompassed that at a time when it wasn't always welcome. And so she allowed, and because I saw that, I was able to, really come into my own and to really start using my voice. And one thing I do want to say, even at that age, I saw someone giving back to her community constantly. And so, with the 100 Black men, they have a saying, they'll be what they see, or something like that. And that's very true when it comes to us. We will become what we see. And we always want to set that example of, for me personally, I want to set that example for when people see me, I want them to be better than me. I want them to rise above me, because I know I would have done my job. But to get back to what I do. So a full stack web developer is, in a nutshell, someone that can fire up a database and take that information from the back end all the way to the front end. The front end is what you see on the website. The back end database part is the actual, machine. So picture, if you go to a website, you type in you use a calculator. That's one form of a database. If you type in your form with your name, email address, and some information, that's a second type of database. So someone has to create that vehicle. And a full stack web developer, we're that someone. So that's what I do. That's what I was trained in. But today I really manage the company. I've been very blessed to have a team of, I think it's 4 or 5, but for the most part, 99% of us are African Americans, 100% US based in California. And so what they allow me to do is to grow the business. So we do strategic branding, meaning that, we build brands up. We not modify, but we rebrand. We work a lot with larger nonprofits and also smaller nonprofits in getting their messaging out. In addition, we are web designers and developers. So we are 100% what we call our stack, which is, what we use to build and create databases or websites or apps. Our stack is 100% on WordPress.
Wow. That girl, first of all, I want to say to you, because one of the things we know that we need to get more women of color, Black women and women of color into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And to hear you, I know we have Black Girls Code. I know we have several other initiatives out there. I know people who code. One that comes to mind is Leah McGowan Hare, who is just amazing, that are actually out there helping others to understand how to become technical and how to really embrace a background. And also, I mean, it's a great career. It's really financially a rewarding career, and you're helping others. And what I love is that what you're talking about is that not waiting for the opportunity to be presented to you, but going out in the world and creating it. And you go back and give Kathy Adams a lot of kudos. And I think we all, at some point, most of us who know her, have seen the legacy that she has left behind. I became president of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women because of Kathy and really reaching back. And I've seen so many others along with her who started and founded that organization, whether it be Brenda Wright, Janice Evans Page, who is my sister and my friend, and see them to go on and do greater things. Janice is now the CEO for Tide, and
Tide is our client.
Yes. So doing a lot of things. So great to hear that she's your client too, because Janice is an amazing person, but it really does take a community. And there's so much that you said in that statement. What you said was your story and your value of what you do and how you do. What I heard was you started off doing one thing and you branched off into creating a team and a culture and a company. And that is amazing. Did you intentionally go out and seek other Black designers or web developers, or was that just because I'm intentional? I'll tell you, I created my platform. The work I do, I have a curriculum that I've developed, an e-learning platform that I've developed. It is not race. It is not gender. It is not religion related. It really applies to everybody. But my focus is on Black women and women of color because it didn't exist for us. And I'm determined to create that platform to give them a voice. So I'd like to know what your story is.
So no, I did not intend to have a team at all, to be honest with you, because I wanted to travel and I wanted the freedom of not having shackles around my foot in order to do that. So the team had to happen in order for me to grow the business. I was very fortunate to be I think the second cohort that Robert Lattimore led with Main Street Launch, Entrepreneurs in Training. And from that, that experience, I really learned the difference between being in business and running a business. And, taking into considerations the financial part of business. And he was able to show me, all of my shortcomings when it comes to that. So I kind of took those lessons and I pivoted, and I understood that, I only have so much time. I can only, I'm only going to go so far with just being a solopreneur. And from there, I just mapped out what I needed. And I did not depend on myself to find the talent. I actually reached out to a friend of mine who is older and she has experience in HR. And she put the job descriptions out there. She did the first and second round of interviews. By the time people came to me, I knew that they would be a firm fit some kind of way. And interestingly enough, I did not choose my team. They were not my first picks at all. She's the one who said, no, you need this person, this person, this person, because they're going to elevate you. And they're like a mini you. And those are the type of people that you need on the team in order to succeed and get better. And she was absolutely right.
Wow.
I want to say one thing, and this is really important, is because I did not rely on my own personal comfort zone. I listened to her and I went outside of my comfort zone because she's the expert. And that was the best decision I ever made.
Ooh, did y'all hear that? She didn't listen to herself. She reached out, and even those that challenged her, which is, oh my God, right now, Chamain, you're speaking, girl, you're speaking. Keep it up, because this is the kind of substance that really makes a conversation rich. In order for us to grow, and Madeline says Main Street Launch is an amazing organization. I am doing their Black Entrepreneur in Residence program right now, and you will definitely learn how to be strategic and run your business. Thank you, Madeline, for that. And that's exactly what she's speaking to. And I love that, because as a community, we really have to go to teach each other too, but you got to be willing. Not everybody is coachable. Not everybody is coachable. And
That's true.
coachable. You have to be coachable, because if you're not willing to be coached, then you won't grow and you will become stagnant. And the one thing that I love that you said is that you saw early on that doing it one way, you wouldn't be able to scale your business.
Mm-hmm.
But you singularly doing everything, even though you can become really great at it, in order for you to really grow and transcend from a business mindset, you have to scale. And you created a team. So congratulations to you for that. Congratulations to being coachable. Congratulations to Main Street Launch, of which the Oakland Chamber has a great relationship with. So happy for that. And thank you for that, because it's so important. Have you seen your business really grow as a result of it? And by the way, before you answer that, family, let me talk to you, please. This is not meant to be a monologue. This is meant to be a dialogue. So the more you chime in, ask Chamain questions, things that you've been dying, maybe something she's learned being a part of Main Street, specifically that she didn't go into detail. Ask the question. That's what makes this platform so rich and informative. So I just want to invite you to do that. So now, Chamain, back to you.
Okay, what's your question?
For you, and thank you, because girl, I gotta stay on my toes and make sure I remember what I have. But I do. And that is, in your growing your business and transitioning from a singular perspective to a team perspective, have you seen your business grow? What's the impact to your business? And what's the impact to your business?
Well, if I didn't have California-based employees, I could definitely see the impact of it more. Okay, let's be real here. So, but in all seriousness, the impact, I do see the numbers. At least I see the P&L in the balance sheet each month, and I'm very happy about that. I can concentrate on margin. Always, margin is margin, and improving those margins any way I can without sacrificing my team or sacrificing our product. When you talk about growth, I think that, let's take away the monetary growth, because, it sounds a lot sexier than the reality. That's just how it is. We live in the Bay Area. But for the first time, I can see the pathway of the business. I can see the trajectory of the business. The business is not Chamain. The business is a separate entity that I can grow, that I can, one day my team can run, and I can just come and say hello, sit in front of my computer like I'm doing work, but really not. Or I can sell it. But that was the biggest takeaway from my experience with Main Street Launch and with Robert, is because as African Americans, we think that because we start a business, we have to, we have the business for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and we die in that business. And we never think about, okay, we can sell this business. This business has value. Or, we can leave this for our family, whatever that may be. But, separating our blood, sweat, and tears from the actual business entity. And that was the biggest, I think that alone is the biggest amount of growth that I experienced.
I want to say you are spot on, because typically when we're thinking out about a business. That's why it's very important that you build a strong team of people who have done it before. That's why that's so important. And those people can then help to guide you. And the one thing that you said that I loved is that you were thinking strategically. This is a game of chess, y'all, not checkers. It's not about your next move, it's about your best move. And the way that you make your best move is you got to think in long-term vision. It's not just about you opening up a business. What do you see it in 5 years? How do you see that business growing? How do you see interacting within that business? That's having a vision. The Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. You need to have a vision. And I love that, because having a corporate structure in terms of how you're set up as a company is everything. And I'm with you, same thing. I mean, I have Cheryl Grant International, which is an S Corp. That's my holding company. I have Fit for Business, which is actually what I do 95% of my business: workshops, webinars, consulting. I do DEI trainings. I do a lot of things within Fit for Business. And then I have a technology company. My technology company is Connect Dots. That's where I can scale it. The first one, it's me individually. The e-learning platform is where I actually can put my curriculum on an LMS system, which is a learning management system, and scale it. And then I have EKM, my foundation. I give it away for free. So I'm just like you. And any one of those entities at any given time, if I sold it off, it doesn't affect my overall umbrella. And I too, Chamain, had a teacher who taught me that. It wasn't Main Street. Main Street, I'm gonna have to get with you, but it wasn't Main Street. It was actually a coach that came in my life, loved what I was doing, and said, let me give you a bit of advice. When you're set up for long term, and also look at acquiring other companies and other businesses that can help you grow. And I know you think in the mindset that, no, I'm not even there, but I need you to get out of that mindset. I need you to know that you are a smart business person, and the way you get more savvier is talking and having conversations like this that can give you some ideas about how you can grow and expand. Think strategically, then act tactically, but think strategically. So thank you for that, Chamain, and I'm so impressed. Now, Madeline, whom I love and adore,
me too.
Chamain and Cheryl, how did you find great team members? Chamain, I'm gonna let you answer that first.
Well, I don't know if you heard the story about I relied on someone else to bring in my team members, but I would say it's not finding great team members, it's keeping great team members. So everyone, with the exception of one person, and her name was, she was a Karen, is with me, and they've stayed with me. And I think it's the number one reason is because I coach my team. So every week I check in with them individually. We have a team meeting and I elevate them. And so, I let them lead the meetings with clients. People may say, well, you can't trust your team with their clients. You don't know how they're behaving. You don't know any of that. But I think the key ingredient is that I have never treated my business as my business. We are a team. So if we succeed, if I succeed, we all succeed. If they succeed, I succeed. And we never ever use the word I did this, I did that. It's always we, because it's a collaborative effort. And that's why I try to ingrain in them. And that's where I think that I succeed in retaining team members.
Oh, girl, you are a woman after my own heart. And I absolutely love that. And Madeline, if I were to answer your question, I'd really pretty much address it the same way that Chamain did. And I would say like energy attracts like energy too, because first of all, I'm very fortunate. Two of my team members are my children. And
you are fortunate.
My sons love working with me. I mean, it's not, yeah, huh? What'd you say, Chamain? Did they say something else?
She's going to go for another agency.
Right. And that's okay. If mine decided at one point, that would be fine. But they really believe in me, and they've been watching me all their life, and they want to see their moms dream. They want to see me reach 50 million women. We are about to go to South Africa. We're reaching 64,000 women through my platform like that. But that's my children getting behind me with the branding, and they do all of this. This isn't Cheryl Grant. Like Chamain said, there's no I. There's no I here at all. It is truly a team. I have this group called Fit for the Future. These are young millennials. They come in and me their talents in terms of me coaching them. They're facing the same roadblocks within corporate America that I faced 30 years ago. And these girls are amazing, and corporate is losing them by the drove because they're not willing to tolerate certain behaviors. I'm there to help coach and bridge the gap. That's a part of my team. And Madeline, you've met some of those women. They are amazing. They're buying houses. Millennials are now in the 30, 40 age group, y'all. So, millennials are coming up and they're buying houses and they're investing their money and they're doing great things. They just need someone who can believe in them. And I think Chamain said it best. It's in terms of making people feel that they're a part of something great. You don't overpower their talents. I don't take their talents away. I just enhance them. My only goal is to pour into them so that they can be their best self. And when you do that, you develop trust. And the other thing I would add to that is that in my program, when I was in my master's program, and I mentioned this numerous times. So if you heard it before, just bear with me. But I'm going to repeat it again because it's worth repeating. I created something called the C4 matrix. The C4 matrix is very simple, but it is very powerful. The C4 matrix is communication. When we communicate, then we can connect. When we connect, we can collaborate. When we collaborate, we can build community. And when you build community, that's the key. Community is the new cultural currency. That is the thing that's going to take us over the top. We don't need to wait for anything. Within us, we have all the tools, all the resources, the smarts, and the intelligence. And for those that want to come along, then we bring them along. We don't exclude anybody. Like we've been excluded, we don't do that. We stand and rise and bring those who want to come with us, and those that don't, okay, we keep them on the side. But that's just what we do. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Cindy. Love her. Love her.
Hey, Cindy.
Grace Marketing. That's another one who is out here transcending and making moves in ways that I'm so happy to be aligned with. And like you said, Chamain, these are women that have been in the corporate world like me, and they know the challenges that they faced in walking those journeys. And when we come together, we really do unlock some great things. So Chamain, I really want you to share with me, because I've heard all the wonderful things. I've heard about you being with Main Street. I've heard how you've taken your company and now you're able to scale your business and you're able to do all these wonderful things. And I love all of that. And Cindy, we're proud of you too. We are so proud of you. She was also awardee at the Open Chamber Commerce, so we're very proud of you. But I've heard about all these things. So the FIT platform is all about faith, intuition, and tenacity. Faith is something you develop, Chamain. Not everybody has faith. You got to believe in the impossible. Being an entrepreneur is not for the weak at heart. If you wake up every day and you're worried that maybe your bank account don't look the way it should, if you're worried about, oh my God, are they going to like me? If you're worried about, oh my God, are they going to buy my products? I just want to say to you that you just need to change that thinking, because in order to survive in this world, in this entrepreneurial world, you have to have a thick skin, and you got to believe. You got to believe in yourself. And I'm going to tell you, any entrepreneur that's been on a journey, I don't care who they are, what their ethnicity is, they've been through some things and they've hit some roadblocks. And if people say, sure, you make it look so easy, I'm like, I'm glad I do. But you don't see the behind the scene. There's a whole behind the scene thing that happens. Chamain, share with us today, when you've had to cross a journey, what was the challenge and how did you overcome it?
Well, for me, it's a couple of things. Having confidence in myself that I can do it, and believing in myself that I can do it. And I think that was probably, me getting out of my own way mentally. And I had a couple of people that really helped me to do that. And for that, I'll always be grateful. So, and it's not just your tribe, it's, your business mentors. And I have, I would say 2 business mentors that, these are the people that I really, really go to for business advice. And he'll probably get mad at me for saying it. I don't know if I should say it, but, but when I reach out to certain people and to say, okay, can I come to you? Can you help guide me through this is not because of what I see. I look at the resume. I look at what they're doing. I look at, their community work, right? And so I look for certain mindsets. And so, one of them I have to say is, his name is Terrell Gamble. And he's so analytical, and just the way that his mind works is amazing. And, and the way that, he comes up, he's like, it's no kind of softness at all. And so he told me a year ago what I needed to do. And he told me like he listed out all of the faults and what I was doing wrong as a businesswoman. And, I didn't know how to take that at first, but then I thought about it and I was like, okay, you're right. Because it wasn't personal. It was like, business wise, this is what you need to do. And then because of that, I got what I needed and I was able to turn it around. The other business mentor is Sheila Lewis, and she has more the marketing experience. She has like that corporate enterprise level, no, this is how you do it. Mm-hmm. And she asked a question. She said, how do you want to show up?
Ooh, forget everything else. A minute. Let me write that down.
Mira, how do you want to show up?
To show up. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And, there's anybody who knows me knows that, this soft little voice, there's another side that can just really go there. And, and it's more of the frustration, getting overwhelmed and not having not having that discipline to keep it business.
Right.
So Kathy has actually been really, really good about, pulling me off the ledge and saying, no matter how you feel, you have to show up. And so, and she'll tell anybody, I don't care what Chamain says or does, when it comes to business, she's going to come through. And she's right about that. But then if I come through with an attitude, or if you're my client, you're paying me and I'm pissed off, that's not a good experience for anybody. And that's the bottom line. And so I really had to learn how to manage my own emotions. And, I could name, Cindy, that talks with Cindy. I can name a whole tribe of people that's like, girl, what are you doing? Pull it together. And,
I love it.
I'm glad I listened, because I saw the moment that I started to listen and the moment I started to pivot and really take care of my business, that's when the business grew. That's when I started to really retain clients. That's when I started to really forge my own personal relationships. So I get referrals, but, I wasn't keeping those referrals. Okay. And so once I started to really concentrate on how do I want to show up and how do I want Wellington to show up, that's when I started to keep the clients and get referrals from those clients. And like you said, it's not an easy thing. It's not, we could put the makeup on, we can do the hair, and we can walk out like, we're worth $1 million. But really, that's a persona. That's not the real deal. So for me, I don't ever want to be fake. So I want whatever I'm showing, I want that to represent on the back side too. And I want that side to come forward.
Wow. I love everything you said, Queen. I mean, everything you said. When I think it's interesting for me, did that resonate with y'all? Type a 1 in the chat box. Just put a 1. You don't have to say nothing. Just put a 1 that resonated with you, because it definitely resonated with me. And you hit on this several times throughout the interview, and that is your ability to truly be coachable. You keep saying showing up, and you're right. There are some days when I don't feel like it's. Some days I come on here and when I come on live, whatever happened just prior to me coming on live, when I come on here, that gets it's compartmentalized. And you have to, in order to succeed as an entrepreneur, you have to know how to compartmentalize. And not everything is personal. I know there's a lot of times we want to take it personal. Trust me. There's things people say to me, to my face, whether it be what I wore, the color of my hair, like personal, and you want to take it that way and you can't. You have to choose not to. You have to be willing to be able to monitor what you're willing to allow into your space in order for you to be your best. But here's the tricky part, what Chamain said, and that is, being able to listen even when it doesn't feel good, even when the person says to you something and you're like, that didn't hit right. And being able to sit with it, being able to marinate on it, and being able to ask yourself some hardcore questions. Is there something that I can tweak here? Is there a different way that I can show up? Is it, and you said showing up, but we're always work in progress. We've never arrived. The day that you arrived, I'm going to say, is the day that you need to really challenge yourself, because life is an educational process. Whether you're 22 or whether you're 62 or 72 or 82, it doesn't even matter. We're always in a learning stage. So you need to always be receptive to that. It costs far less to retain an existing client than to find a new one. Oh my God.
And she said that to me too.
Lindsay, you're speaking, girl. You're speaking, girl. It's far less. I have to break that down, y'all, so that we can just marinate on that. It's far less to retain an existing client than it is to find a new one. And I'd also add on to that, Cindy, and with retaining that, I think word of mouth is so powerful that great people continue to tell a story. When you do something bad, I don't know, I'm going to change that. Let me change that scenario, because the way that story goes is that if you do something bad, they'll tell 1,000 people. You do something good, they'll only tell one or two. But I want to say to you that when you are good, your reputation will supersede you. So always walk in integrity. How you show up in one place is how you show up everywhere. So make sure that when you're showing up, you're representing your best self always. I tell that to my children. I mean, they're grown men right now, but I say that to them. Go on, Contessa Tate. That's girl, Contessa. I love that queen. I love her. But I tell my sons all the time, social media is a very powerful tool. And I know it's very expressive, and it's a medium in which you can truly express yourself, but there's something called a digital footprint. And so every time you put something out there, it never goes away. So just make sure you're putting out there good content. Make sure that you're talking in ways that you want clients to continue. If you're an entrepreneur, I'm not telling you to filter. I'm telling you to be aware of what you say, how you say it, especially when you're on these platforms. You need to make aware. So that was amazing. I want to dig a little deeper. I want to dig a little deeper because you just exercise faith for me. Faith is the ability, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. In our eyes, I haven't seen where I've sold my company for $5.2 billion. I haven't seen that yet. It doesn't mean that the vision's not there, y'all. I haven't seen that yet. But I got to believe it in what I'm cultivating and what I'm building, that it's a possibility. And I've had somebody, Chamain, even tell me recently, like, I'm looking at investing and yourself as an investor. Sometimes we think that that's for people who have multi-millions of dollars and we can never be philanthropic. That's a misnomer. You can start wherever you are. Every donation is towards something. And we just got to change the mental construct of how you view yourself. And this is meant to empower you. And so you know who you are as a businesswoman and as a professional. I want to ask you, how do you use your intuition? Because a part of my platform talks about faith. You've demonstrated that so well. How do you use your intuition? How do you trust it? To trust those voices? How do you know when you're listening to somebody and they're giving you good advice and they're not just hating on you? How do you, because they're, I'm just saying, I'm not. How do you discern? How do you discern?
So there's a process when we bring in new clients. Before we decide that, hey, it's like they're interviewing us, but we're also interviewing them. I recently had a situation where the lady found us on Google, and she went through the process, everything checked out. The moment that she signed on the dotted line and gave a deposit, and it was a significant deposit, that's when crazy came out. And the first sign of crazy was the emails. And email after email after email. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't know if this is the right, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to give her a chance. That was a Friday. By Monday, I think Monday was a holiday, emails, emails. Tuesday morning, I'm not sure because you're not answering my emails. So I just kind of had to instinctively say, this is not going to be good for anybody here. So I returned her money and, wished her the best of luck and I walked away from the deal. And that was trusting, it wasn't so much my instinct, but believing what my eyes were seeing. And not questioning that what you're seeing is crazy. And
who they are, believe them. And I have definitely had that experience. Contessa says, I had a client, I had to give a client her money back because the money was not worth her headache. This is so true.
Well, and I just want to say on that, we work hard for our money. I get it. And when you put money in it, when you're making an investment in yourself, for a lot of people, that's scary because the investment is not small change. You're putting money where you're putting your money where your mouth is when you're saying, I'm going to start this business because I believe in myself, right? So I get that part. I get that part. But what you're not doing when you hire a firm, you're not buying that person's soul. You do not own that person. That person, believe me, if you walk away tomorrow, their bills are going to be kept on. And that's where we get it really confused as a race. We think because we pay somebody a little bit of money, then therefore they're on call. We're on call for them. And we have clients. We have we respect and we value all of our clients. We don't have clients that we prefer over one or another because all your money is the same. And so, we're going to accommodate you as much as we can, but it's not a lack of respect if we don't jump when you tell us to jump. It's not a lack of respect if we have a process and we expect you to fit within our process, because when you signed that agreement, we went over the process 3 times before you signed on the dotted line. And so we don't need to fit in your process unless you're like a big, big, big corporation. And with those corporations or those type of deals, for $50,000 a month, I will do whatever you want me to do. But for a few dollars, not so much. That's my little rant.
We don't work for free. It costs to do the work that we do. So I am like, oh my God, you are really speaking to my heart here. And, client, be a good client too, and give respect. I can tell you in my platform, I require that you went through the process, Chamain, and it's my team. They will not allow me to book a date if you don't fill out the survey and go through all the questionnaire, because we can't properly promote you and build the marketing collateral that we do for all of the people that are on our show. So we have a process. There's a pre-show call. Some people don't want to do it. Like they literally don't want to take the time, and I'm promoting them. This is to my platform is truly to uplift my guests. I have no other motive. So thank you for saying that, because I think it's so needed. Contessa says, we as entrepreneurs have to communicate systems and policies in place to hold boundaries with our client. My client taught me how to pivot my business's communication chain. I love that. We really do. And I love y'all. Thank y'all for chiming in. They all in the conversation. This is what makes this platform so rich. When you guys chime in with your thoughts and your feedback, because it either does one or two things. You disagree or you agree. So it lifts it up more so that Chamain knows she's on the right track, and she already knows that. So I want to say to you, I thank you. Oh my God, Chamain, you have been amazing. Be a good client and you will get all that I have.
Yep.
I'm good, Cindy. I'm good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. This is what I want to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy Hills, facts. That's very true. I want to say to you, you've demonstrated for me faith. You've demonstrated for me intuition. And you really talked about tenacity, but just because it's the tea, I'm gonna bring it back home. We're gonna bring this thing full circle. Tenacity is one's ability to get up in the face of adversity. Tenacity is one's ability to wake up and persevere, even when the world says you can't. Tenacity is your ability to see your vision so clear that you won't let anyone or anything stop you from achieving it. Tenacity is when you don't make excuses, you execute plans. How have you used tenacity to help you?
I wish I could take all the credit for all of that. But I have to thank my personal trainer, James Harris with the 100. We have been working out for like the last year, 3 to 4 times a week. And I have to tell you that when I first started, I did not have any of that. He taught me that it's
y'all see this? I'm not looking this up. She's about to bring it on. Go on, Queen. Go on.
But he taught me that it's a mindset. And, throughout all of this time, because I told him, I said, we're going to be like Holly Berry and her trainer, 20 years from now, I'm still going to be working out with you. Right. But, that mindset of, when we first started, I was so quick to, I can't do that. I can't do that. And he's like, what? And one day he got so tired of me saying, I can't do that. I saw in his eyes that he was about to fire me. Because it was like, are you wasting my time? Because I'm not gonna take your money if you're gonna keep not doing this, right? And so basically I started listening to what he was telling me, and I started to really think about it, and and not letting people deter me from what I have to do, because people will try to get in your mind and mess up your day. There are some demons out there. And, and all they're doing is roving around looking for who can I wake up and mess up today? Oh, here, let me send you this nasty email, Chamain. Or let me send you this nasty text, Chamain. And if I let these people get in my head, and I was, then the game changed. It's over. I've already failed. And so the biggest takeaway, and I'm naive, even at this age, I'm naive, because I'm like, hey, what you see, what you get. Everybody is boom hot. They want you to succeed. No, that's not the case. And I'll tell you when it really came home was when I started to lock up my hair, and I went natural. And boy, the haters came out, and I saw that, people would rather see you with something that's not real. I mean, they prefer not realness to realness. And if I allowed that, I remember I was training with James, and it had gotten to me so bad because just that day I had gotten like somebody laughed in my face when they saw my hair, and that was their response. Somebody else has something to say, that was their response. And I sat next to James when we were about to go work out, and he could see it in my face. And, I don't want to say I cried, because I don't cry, but I think that I was close to crying. And he said, do you like your hair? And I said, I love my hair. He said, well, that's all that matters. So he said, if you like your hair, that's all that matters, because
girl's up there because she preaching, girl. She preaching.
And so I say that to say that, when you talk at the beginning, you talked about community, right? You said, why do you do this? And I told you it's because of community, because it's not me. The community is not me giving back to my community. The community is what my community gives to me, and what I learn from my community every single day. And there's so much love in our community for each other. I mean, the negativity, I talk about it, but it's so minute. When you look at the big picture, and I look at what I've gained from my community throughout the years, the knowledge, the love, the way that they embrace me and what I'm trying to do, and their beliefs in me, and where, they trust me with their brand or with their website or with their business. So to me, that's worth any amount of money that I could ever get.
Well, I want you to know that I love, respect, honor, and appreciate you. You are an amazing, amazing individual. And we go back, yes, to the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. A lot of my sisters and I do. And I love every single one of them. And Chamain, you are at the list. You know, I love this platform because every time I have these conversations, I always get an epiphany. I always get further insight, even to what I'm doing. And I hope everybody out there was able to gather some insight about your journey, about where you are, about what you're creating with your life. And the one thing I want to tell you that there's no such word as impossible. If you can think it, that's your faith, third vision. You can believe it in your heart, that's your intuition. Then you can achieve it. And that's the tenacity and the go get it. I just want to say that to you, anybody out there listening. And Chamain, you're a living example. So I just want to thank you. So this time flies by. Like we have less than 5 minutes left before this hour ends. If you have questions, please ask them now. Chamain, how can we support you? How can we support you?
You know, recommend Wellington Studio. I need business. And so, you know, we all need business. So I would say, you know, reach out. We build brands. We build websites. We develop websites. We do a lot of SEO work, search engine optimization, and social media. So, you know, we're very specific in what we do. And I guarantee you, if I don't do it, I will let you know. And I will refer you to somebody who does, because, you know, we do have our network of referrals. But I would say, you know, hey, trust us, come to us, let us make you great.
Yes, I want to say that if you need to get in touch with her, here are her to Wellington Studios, to her Instagram, to her LinkedIn. Let's show Chamain some support. The only thing I ask you to do from my perspective is let her know that it came from Cheryl Grant. Let her know that it came from, I'm not asking anything from her. I just want to know, because I already know we're making an impact. As you guys know, and everybody who's been a part of my journey, I have a goal to reach 50 million women. I cannot do that alone. There's no way possible, but I can tell you this, with everybody that's on this call together, we can reach those 50 million women. And for me, what that means is an opportunity to really showcase the power of community, the power of when we get together, the power of our network, and more importantly, y'all, the power of our purse. The power of our purse. Black population contributes over $1.7 trillion to this economy. Don't get it twisted. We're the ones buying Christian Louis Vuitton. I just want to know, are they investing back in us? If not, let's support some brands that do. If it's a Black designer, why not support them? Why not give her an opportunity to rebrand your website? Why not? If there's an opportunity, there are companies out there that are making a boatload of money off of us, but are not contributing to us. And that will be tolerated no more. That will be tolerated no more, because we have the power of choice. And as long as you have the power of choice, you can choose. So I want to say to you, Chamain, we want to support you every way that we can. I'm going to ask you a question. Don't answer it, but I'm going to ask you a question. If you could leave this audience with one piece of advice, what would that advice be? But don't answer it.
Okay.
What I want to do right now is I want to share with you guys. I want to thank you again. I want to thank you again for supporting me, for showing up. This is everything right now in my heart. I get a knot in my throat, because it means so much to me. And anytime I can pour back into you means the world to me. So glad for you all. It is very lonely as you climb and pivot out of here. Yes, but we're together. We don't have to be alone no more. You got Cheryl Grant, you got Connect Dots. And as long as we got that, we can make the world go round. I'm just telling you. And this platform would not be possible. There's no I in team. I have a full-on team, you guys, of millennials that work beside me. I have my sons, and I want to thank them. John Tate Grant, Dejan Grant, Zy Warren, Andrew Stanley, Ebony Creighton, Jasmine Collin, Joelle. I want to thank Amarosa, and we just added Shantae to the team, and it's continuing to grow. These people are just beyond amazing, and I'm thankful for them. I also want to say to you that next week on Fit Live, next Thursday, I am going to be interviewing Craig King, and he is the founder of Rap Plug alongside rapper and entrepreneur Rick Ross. And he is also working with Brandon Chris. If you don't know this man, you want to. He attended Howard University. When I tell you he is a firecracker. Then we're going to have the following week, Sharon Connors, who is the Chief People Officer at Micron. I say have a lineup for you, and we're booked out now through the end of the year. So I just want y'all to know that we out here working for you. And I want to say to you, Bonnie, I love you. And to everybody out there listening, I love you. You guys give me so much life. I hope you're enjoying my posts that I put up every day. I write those. I handwrite those. They come from my spirit. They're not things that I make up. So I hope that they're inspiring you and uplifting you. I have no other goal but to educate, inspire, and uplift. And I'm telling you, together, we are going to change the world. So Chamain, what's your one piece of advice that you want to share? So thank you, everybody. Thank you. What is the one piece of advice?
I think it came through. I think I saw Tammy. She put it in the chat. Buy Black. Support the community.
Let me find that from Tammy. Tammy, I love her. Tammy's on my fitness journey with me too. I love that girl. Tammy, I hope you don't mind me telling somebody.
So I would just say that, I hear it a lot. Oh, Fiverr, hiring in the Philippines. And, I understand we all have to save money. But at the end of the day, when you support your community, especially community that's supporting community, that's paying payroll, then that money is being recycled in the community. And, no matter how great and how cheap other people are, they don't care about your community. So, work with people that care about who you are and what your business is doing. Okay.
And let me tell you how you tell if people care? You can look at their company structure. Look at their company structure. If they have diversity in it, they care. If they don't and all they have it is on a pamphlet, the one black girl on the pamphlet, you already know. So let's start holding people accountable. If you want to be in this new game, it's all about community and culture. And we got power when we come together, y'all. I'm just telling you, we got power. And the power starts now, and it starts with us. So let's never, never, never give our power away, one sister to another. I see platforms out here where I know women didn't support us, and now all of a sudden it's Black. And I'm okay with that if it's really, truly, sincerely, 100%. I'm not up with smoke and mirrors, and we can see through the smoke and mirrors. I just want y'all to know. We can see reality versus non-reality. We can see it. And moving forward, we're all about reality. So I want to say to you, this last thing before we go, we're a few minutes over, but I really need to hear this from you. If you could give, I think you just gave it, Buy Black. Is that what you said?
Yep.
There you go. Well, then she just gave it. So anything else that you want to leave before we say goodbye?
I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, Cheryl, for inviting me on your platform. And, there's no amount of words that can express my appreciation for my clients, for the people that have believed in me. And I do want to give a special shout out to Sheila Lewis, because she understood where I was at with the business. And she knew that I was ready to elevate the business. And she introduced me to Tides. She got me into the door of Tides. And Tides is the organization that keeps on giving in so many ways. So, one Black woman saw that another Black woman was ready to take her business to the next level. And she was not concerned about my failure or her look with the company if I did not perform, because she knew that it would be on me and me alone. So she did not carry that on her back. And that way she was not scared to make that recommendation. So for that, I will always be grateful.
Oh my God, that is just warming to my heart. And Chamain, do we want to share anything about what we're up to for Giving Back Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Giving Tuesday. So Giving Tuesday is a package that I offered my nonprofit clients, because we are so behind the 8 ball when it comes to, the giving campaign. And so I had 5 slots, and out of the 5 slots, I had 5, but then 1 dropped out. But Cheryl is she grabbed one of those slots, She saw an email that was shared, and she was like, is there a slot open? Yeah. And she filled that slot. I'm so excited for what we're about to turn out for you, Cheryl, for the nonprofit. That nonprofit is doing great work. And what you guys are about to see over the next few months, next few weeks, is a lot of telling that story. And this will be a good example of what we do when we're allowed to work as an agency, and where we have clients like Cheryl who believed in us and who's trusting us with that messaging and with that look. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I love what I do, but like, I can't do it for free. And this platform actually is where I can give away for free. And I have been doing this since 2017. So I didn't just start this yesterday. And it's been an amazing journey, but I do so much more. I do consulting, I do DEI training, I do webinars, workshop, master classes, consulting work. I'm working with a couple of companies right now. And so I'm very grateful for the work that I'm doing. And this giving back that's coming up, the way that you can support me is by giving to this amazing organization. This is how I work with my young women that are part of the Fit for the Future. This is how we do 2x1 programs that we're working in partnership with the Oakland African American Chamber to roll out to our community. This is how we really start to touch the masses when I talk about giving access to not only what we do. Is we don't believe at Cheryl Grant in extending a hand. We don't give handout. We extend an arm. ARM stands for access to financial money, access to money, resources and training and mentorship. ARM, that's what we do. We extend an arm. So I'm grateful to Chamain to help me. When you see it come out, no amount is too small. $5, $20, $100, $1,000, $100,000, $1 million. If you got it, we'll receive it and we'll put it to good use. I promise you that. So with that said, Chamain, the time is up to an end. Thank you. I want to thank you. You have been amazing guest, and I can't wait to work with you. I can't wait to see you continue to grow. And if you're a corporation out there and you're looking for somebody, she's right there. I don't know what my screen shows. I think it goes this way. She's right there.
You're right.
Hire her, and just tell her that I sent. And $50 now. Send me the link, sis, to give. Oh my God, I love you so much, Contessa. She's another entrepreneur, an amazing businesswoman that's out there. I've spoken at some of her catwalks. I know Tammy's going to be speaking at the upcoming catwalk, and I definitely want to be there. But if you go to my website, and that's a shame because I really should have it up, but if you go to my website, I'm going to type it in here, CherylGrant.com. I wonder, can I do EKM? I'm going to try something, y'all. My son sometimes teaches me stuff. I don't know if it pays off. We're about to see if this really works. I think it does. Hold on just 2 seconds. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to see if that works. If it doesn't, then I'll have to give you the right one. It works! Yes! So if you go to that, but why did it show it? Can you guys see that? If you go to that link, you can definitely log on. So, and donate today. So thank you. Chamain, don't hang up. You stay there. Everybody else, we want to say God bless. We're sending you positive energy for an amazing rest of the week. Tune in next week, next Thursday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and tell a friend. God bless. Take care.